probably be a bit of a weird angle for you to be seeing me at, but it's okay. Today I've got a bit of a different video than normal. I'm not doing anything makeup related. I'm actually trying my hand at making jewellery. So I've already pre-done this one piece of the style that I want to do. I did this last night. It's kind of like barbed wire style. I followed a tutorial on YouTube and I've kind of adapted it to suit my style and how I like the barbed wire to look. So give me a moment, I'll pan down and I'll start showing all of the items and how I go about actually making the barbed wire. Sorry for the little bit of seam at the bottom on this paper. I'm trying to have as much of a nice white base as possible for you. I'll show you the tools that I've got first. I have these tweezers, these wire cutters and pliers. Got some wire. Also got some measuring tools as well. These are all the tools that I use to make the chain. These are different materials I use to actually make the necklaces connect together. So I've got these lobster clasps. I've got these two different size split rings. And I've also got this black chain, which come to form the chain you see now. This wire chain as a connecting part in here. Down at this end, you can see the lobster clasp as well as one of the split rings connecting the barbed wire links that I'm making together. To make the actual lengths of the barbed wire, I will first get a length of this thicker gauged wire. This is just jewellery wire. I personally chose black. You can get it in different colours. And I kind of bend it over the edge of the ruler at around the 2-inch mark and cut that off. That will actually be the basis of the chain. Then for the thinner bits of the wire that stick off of it to make the actual barbed wire appearance, I cut off 2 lengths of this thinner gauged wire that are also 2 inches long. I'm not being exact with my measurements, but this I'm trying to get it as close to 2 inches for each part when I cut it as possible. 3 equal lengths. I then grab these needle nose pliers, just happen to be the perfect length that when I wrap this thicker wire around it, kind of guesstimate where 1/3 of the way is in the center, so I can wrap each end around needle nose pliers, wrap it around, and I'll gently squeeze these together. And that is the basis of one of the links. As this will be the start of a new necklace, I will grab one of the split rings as well as a lobster clasp, and I use a guitar pick to slide in between the piece of the split ring, as it's just a lot easier, I found. And then I'll feed on the lobster clasp. It is a bit fiddly. I tried not to be too rough so I don't rub off all of the black coating. To connect this on, I'll grab the little loopy ring from the split ring, slide on one of the ends. So now you'll start to see it forming. I'll get my pliers, and in the center of this part, I'll grab the pliers, squeeze down, so roughly this type of shape will form. Try and clamp it so it's nice and flat as possible. And I will usually then try and wrap the wires around the center. This can be a bit difficult and fiddly to do, so I usually try and get it to this point by hand, and then with my pliers I can help squeeze it into the shape that I want. So I've kind of wrapped one end around, and now do it for the other side. If you take your time, it will look really nice and neat. I'll also then, just to make sure that it's a nice even shape the whole length around, I'll get these pliers that we use to actually make the shape initially, and I'll kind of slide it in between this gap and partially widen it to make it a bit more round, and I do that with both ends. But there you go, you've got the basic shape down. I will get the thinner gauged wire and we'll kind of hold it in place against my finger and start wrapping it around the kind of knot of metal that we made with the pieces of the thicker gauged wire. Sometimes the little spike of the spike part will move a bit out of place, so I grab either these ones, or if that's not gripping, I'll grab these actual like straight needle nose tweezers, and I'll just pull on that a little bit just to get spike back in place. Go back to supporting it and keep on wrapping around this last bit of the wire. So we've got 2 spikes on that edge, and repeat with the last bit of the thinner gauged wire, and then I'll go in with the actual metal cutters and just trim down the excess length. And there is a barbed wire link, and I'll continue doing that to make lengths like this. So now it will just be a time lapse. I will show you the process of me making one link, and then I will cut fully afterwards, and I'll show you the end result, or at least of what I plan to try and make with the wire and the materials that I've already got. Enjoy this time lapse.
Put the key in ignition, I just want recognition. I'm like your memory wiped out and your hard drive be glitching. I'm a man on a mission till my body go missing. I got you homeboy, that's why your lyrics be slipping. Put your hands down and listen to a dude with a vision. Made a mark in the cut, I just fell through incision. Man, my fists they be dripping from the shit that I'm ripping. Fuck this PBR beer, I need a challenge for sipping. All my people in the crowd, we put this shit in motion. This the fucking wave, we bigger than the ocean.
So as you can see, I've now got a basic amount of length. This is roughly a similar length to the choker style of a necklace on my neck. I'll be probably doubling to tripling the length of this chain, and I'll be doing that off of camera so I don't have crazy large amount of footage. This, like I said, is the basis of what would be becoming this type of chain. So you can see the difference between the chain with the barbed wire parts put on using the thinner wire, and then the actual barbed wire parts without that thinner wire on. So like I said, I'll cut here and I'll come back with this chain done. I'm back. I have the necklaces done. I've got choker style one like I was talking about. Sorry that I've got a little bit of neck beard going on. Haven't shaved a little bit. I've got the choker style one and the one that's a little bit longer. This can also, when actually wrapped up, go as a double choker, or it is modular. I can undo the clasp, and when putting it around myself, I can connect it onto one of these other parts of the chain over here. It starts being a multi-layered necklace if I get it at the right angle. So I can have it connected together like this, so it's a little bit shorter, but it bunches together down at the bottom. I also have the ability to use these rings from Etsy. They are supposed to look like pieces of wood. I'll try this out. For the choker, you connect one end, and I want, for this one, ring at the front. So I have that one, and then with having this at the front, I have the idea of this necklace almost having like a harness-like appearance to it. Got kind of fun bondage kink-esque appearance going on. But yeah, so either way, this is my necklace. The way it's quite modular, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. You'll see this appear through multiple videos in different formats as I figure out different ways I'll style it. Thank you for watching. Love hearts from Australia. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your night. Bye.